TIL DNA tests of 39 of Adolf Hitler's living relatives suggest he had both Jewish and African ancestors. This is going to make Hitler look terrible. TIL Adolf Hitler has a lot of relatives. We all have African ancestors. Don't we all technically have African ancestors? Or are DNA tests unable to go back to that time in human history? How did Nazis view black people? There are a surprising amount of pics of Africans in Nazi gear hanging out with German Nazis in World War II. Is that why he killed himself in the end? Damn, what a plot twist. You go far enough back and that's true for every living person. Researchers actually took the time to do this? LOL. So, does this mean he was right? 'Cause he totally fucked Germany and he's Jewish now. So then Jews were bad for Germany? Am I taking away the right thing here? So do most people if you dig deep enough. You know, the more I learn about this Hitler guy, the less I care for him. I guess Hitler's Jewish heritage may have been of the Ashkenazi diaspora. Suggest. If you are a Homo sapiens, you had African ancestors. You've never heard of the Austrian village he had decimated to hide cousins and his mother's bloodline. He definitely didn't look Aryan. Sometimes the thing you hate the most is yourself. Yeah, I'm not buying it without seeing his DNA tested, not some distant descendants. The Nazis did not look further than the grandparents to determine who was Jewish. German nobility did look up to the great-great-grandparents, 16 quarters of nobility, so the Nazis' standard was actually pretty lax by German standards. It's interesting to see that, for example, in France, the sexist nobility mostly cared about the father's status, hence unlike in German countries what mattered was how far on your male line you were a noble. They understood that the females could come from lower class. Jews care about the mothers, and Americans about the color of paper bags. It's really interesting to see how many different definitions of purity there are. His father was illegitimate, there were rumors that his wife was his cousin. So, Hitler could never prove his ancestry and could therefore never have been a member of his Aryan race, probably one of the many reasons why he was such fuckwit. That means Hitler can say the N-word. A piece of ass is a piece of ass when you all hopped up on methamphetamine. /S. He was the very thing he swore to destroy. Christ, some folk will stop at nothing to blame World War II on the Jews and the blacks. In other words, Hitler's family tree may have included Jewish and African ancestors. ZZZZ. Hitler had blue eyes. That means he was very white. Many Europeans have brown eyes. Academics trying for a gotcha moment on long-dead Hitler by using the Jim Crow-style one-drop rule to prove Hitler wasn't European are engaging in racism. I don't know what bizarre racist game is being played, but having a tiny amount of genetic material from a specific ethnicity doesn't mean anything, no matter what Elizabeth Warren would have us believe. I'll let you all in on a little secret. We all have DNA that came from Africa. But SHHHH though, apparently it's still a well-kept secret. SMH, doesn't surprise me. He who must not be named was actually a half-blood wizard but promoted pure blood superiority. Not particularly meaningful, considering how so much of DNA ancestry testing is overhyped bunk from limited source data. https://www.livescience.com/7384 Genetic ancestry tests hype scientists. HTML. And that even if you could make meaningful statements about a person's ancestry, it means very little. https://www.theglobiandmail.com/opinion/article why your DNA test won't reveal the real you / because ideas of race are socially constructed. https://www.scientific American.com/article/races a social construct scientists argue / even if they do have real outcomes. https://psychologytoday.com/a/blog/without prejudice/201612/race social construction You could make the argument that the research was trying to debunk Nazi ideas of racial superiority through biological essentialism by making arguments using biological essentialism. Is that a good strategy, though? Is that why he lost WW2? What is that supposed to mean? Oh, we're back to the whole making shit up about historical figures thing again? It's a well-documented fact that Hitler had Jewish relatives and ancestors of the Ashkenazi type, but black ancestors is utter horseshit. Who believes this garbage? Yep, my husband, whose father's line was Jewish, has the same haplogroup. Hitler hating the Jews is like a closeted gay person being a big homophobe. Spoiler, he was neither blonde nor blue-eyed face screaming in fear. Everyone has African ancestors. Africans on the other hand don't have Neanderthal DNA. It's a shitty speculative analysis using old-fashioned techniques. Why haplogroup analysis? You could do a lot better with even 23andMe today. Voldemort was a half-blood. In a previous life, Darth Vader was a Jedi. Everyone has African ancestors. I would assume most, if not all, of humanity are in the same boat. Clickbait. I mean, don't literally all of us have African ancestry? It is known he was Jew. That is why Ari Nachweis was only regarding the last 3 generations/s. I mean, we all originated from Pangaea, so that already discredits any claim of racial purity by default. We're all descendants from the same starting point. So that's why he killed himself. Oh snap. Since the publication of the NAC article on August 18, 2010, academics have been quick to point out that this does not necessarily mean the man who inspired the Holocaust was either Jewish, African, or a combination of the two. Everyone seems like they've got a little bit of everything in them in some way, but it's equivalent of atomic level shit. It sounds like they are basing this off of one gene. Don't they test multiple genes and calculate percentages? Maybe they were looking for a gene that all of his relatives had. Well, the identity of his grandfather is still unknown to this day, so it's definitely not impossible that he was part Jewish. This is some prime Moripovich material. It's treason, then. Keck. Hitler was an illegitimate Rothschild. Classic. Same news I found out when I had my test done. Turns out I'm 22% Sephardic Jewish and 1.7% African. I had ancestors who were slaves and who died in concentration camps. Fucking white people. I hope he met them when he went wherever the hell people go when they die. He is human, so African ancestors are kinda a given. Let me guess who did the test. Well, that explains the suicide. Can I get my DNA tested for relations? And not by ancestry? Like real tested? That's gotta be tough news to hear for all the Jews and black people. As if they didn't have enough detractors already. I've always just told everyone I'm Mexican. But according to 23andMe, I'm 46% Mexican Indian and 27% Iberian. The other quarter is a mix of Basque, North African, West African, and European Jewish. We're all mutts. Except for my girlfriend. She's 99% Ashkenazi Jewish and 1% Sephardi Jewish. Pretty incredible. So the Jews and blacks were to blame all along. Shame on Yet. Ain't that part of why he killed himself, because he wasn't part of his perfect race? Well, he hated Jews so he killed himself.